Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to your monthly reading for July 2020. I'm going to explain to you how this reading is going to go, but first, I would like to say that if you're new to this channel, please feel very welcome. If you're coming back, well, it's always nice to have you here listening to my readings because they are made with a lot of love, and I hope you find a lot of intuitive guidance. And please remember, this is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest, okay? So I'm going to explain, Aquarius, how your reading is going to go. This first roll of cards is going to tell me a little bit about upcoming energies for the month of July and the energies that are leaving your life in the month of June, okay? In this transition from the month of June to the month of July, this second roll of cards is going to tell me about more practical pieces of advice, how these energies are going to influence your routine, and what would be most important for you to consider while planning your month, okay? I also have two oracle cards that are going to bring me, well, three oracle cards, sorry, four oracle cards for you that are going to talk about the general advice related to these energies, okay? And it's very interesting that I have three cards for you here. This is something I did not notice, but whenever I'm shuffling the cards, if I feel like more of them are sprouting out of the deck and they want to come and they want to talk to you, I always consider that, okay? I also have an oracle here, which is represented by these dice, and this is the Tata Inti oracle, which is an oracle from the Inca people, and it's being energized by my crystals here. So at the end of the reading, you will have the opportunity of asking a yes, no, maybe question, and I'm going to work this dice in order to find an answer for you, hopefully, okay? So if you want to start thinking about what kind of specific question you'd like to ask related to the month of July, you can start considering the themes that interest you the most. Let me leave it up here, okay? So first of all, we are going to start with your energy, okay? Whatever you're bringing to this month of July. This is the first time I'm recording in this on this table, so it's a bit hard for me to move the cards, but anyway, we have the Ten of Swords here representing you. So I see that, and we are going to work this narrative out with the other cards, but I can see right from the start that you are feeling a bit overwhelmed with everything that's been going on in your life, and this is the kind of a kind of intense psychological experience, okay? So you're feeling a bit overwhelmed with everything, all of the information you have to deal with right now, and we are going to see in a moment what it refers to, but I can say right now that it would be very important for you to try to relax, okay? I know that this is not easy, but this is the end of a process in which you have to deal with a lot of information, a lot of insights, a lot of learning. And it is a time in which it will be important for you to rest, to recuperate, to rejuvenate, okay? I want to get your oracle cards before I go further into the tarot because they are very good to talk about this. Yeah. See, I have a card here which is news. The universe sends me signs and I inform. And this person here is reading almost as if this person was reading from the universal news, okay? The universal newspaper. So I see that it's highly in tune with this perspective here. You've been hearing so much about what's right and what's wrong in this world. You've been receiving so much information and also signs from the universe on whether you should go this way or that way, and they seem extremely logical. That kind of they meet your vibration, okay? So you feel like you can trust this news, but it's been a bit overwhelming, it's been a bit too much, and now you just have to settle down during the month of July and organize everything that you've been hearing, everything that you've been dealing with in terms of thoughts, okay? This is feeling mentally drained a little bit. And with the oracle cards here, I have my vibes speak louder than my words. Okay, so yeah, precisely. I feel like you want to put your head in order. Okay, you want to organize your mind, but it's too much to ask of you right now. Right now, it would be important for you to follow your bliss, to follow your good vibes, okay? And let this vibe speak louder than words, than discourse, than anything that is too logical, okay? Anything that is too textual, because you need to be in touch with whatever makes you feel good, whatever resonates with you, in order to recuperate from the amount of effort you've been placing in trying to understand how things go. And I have a card going to the floor, so I think it wants to be next. Just give me a second. I love when these things happen. Okay, I think I moved the camera a little bit. So, okay, I'm going to move the cards. The next card that fell on the floor, and really wanted to talk to you is: true healing occurs when I give myself permission to feel whatever feelings live below the triggers. My God, you see? This is exactly what I was talking about, in the sense that a lot of the information you've been dealing with is now triggering you. Like, you wanted to just put some order to your thoughts, but you feel overwhelmed by everything that you've been hearing, that you've been reading. This could even talk about the crisis our world is facing, and that something is ending, some people think is ending, and some other people think it's going to go on for a while. Okay, so it's a lot to deal with, but it's also talking about insights on your own life that you've been trying to organize. And it's more important now that you tune in good vibes and bliss, and allow yourself to take care of your feelings, okay, without repressing those feelings. Then it would be to try to find some logic in it all, okay? I give myself permission to feel whatever feelings live below the trigger. So it's very important that you remember you're a human being. So no matter how huge your mental capacity is, it's still too much to ask that you deal with everything at the same time. And of course, everything that you're dealing with is going to have an emotional correspondent that might drain you, okay? So you need to give yourself some time to deal with these emotional backlash, in a sense. And the other card I have is: my outer experiences are a reflection of my internal conditions. So you see, they are all talking about the same thing, okay? So you need to respect however you're vibing right now, in order to deal with your feelings, to process your feelings, and to understand that no matter how much you organize mentally, if you're not feeling good about this process, you probably not face the world from a clear perspective. You're probably you don't even have to believe in the law of attraction, as I believe, for example, in order to understand that your view of the world is filtered by your emotions, and you cannot renegade your emotions, okay? So I see that right from the start, in this month of July, it's going to be very important for you to put more attention into healing your emotions, and in whatever triggers you, accepting that it exists, accepting that it might be hard to deal with them, to face them, but it is an important process. And now we are going to understand a bit about why. I see that with this Eight of Pentacles in reverse, in the month of June, you felt like you were not able to cope with everything you had to do at work, in your relationships, the way you normally like to cope with, okay? It's something like, sorry, it's not that you stopped doing anything, and it's not even that you could not be productive. For some of you, I see that maybe you may have felt a loss in productivity, but this card's not actually talking about that. It's talking about the fact that everything that you do, you like to do it not only the best way you can, but also being creative about it, and adding your own mark, your own self-expression to everything that you're doing. No matter how bureaucratic a task seems, you like to do it in a different way. You like to do it while expressing yourself. And you felt that during the month of June, it was very hard to leave your mark in things that you've been doing, okay, due to this mental stress. So for the month, so right now, as we start the month of July, it's like you're feeling a bit, it's like the world, you feel almost as if the world is against you sometimes, okay? You feel kind of, you see this woman here with her back to the trees, like I have nowhere else to go. I feel a bit cornered by the world in a sense, okay? It's like I faced a lot of battles. I faced a lot of different passionate points of view, because this is the Nine of Wands, okay? So this is almost the end of a process, but I had to deal with so many different people, so many different actions, so many different turns of events, and they were all very passionate, they were all very energetic, they were all very fiery, and it has cost me in terms of integrity. I don't know how, where else could I go, or how to even plan my life. This is how you're starting the month of July, a little bit cornered by the universe and by the context you're experiencing, okay? But I see that at the end of July, you are going to be yourself again, in the sense of being a person who can recognize different possibilities of action and feels in charge of your creativity again. So this spark that you missed here during June while you're doing your daily chores, you're going to find it again with this Three of Wands, okay? Now let's see the path you will need to go through in order to find the spark again. First card I have is We Are the World, okay? The Ten of Wands in reverse, okay? And the second card is Politics, okay? Which is also the Seven of Swords in reverse. Then I have Letting Go, which is the Eight of Cups in reverse in the traditional tarot. This is the Osho Zen tarot. And I have Past Lives, which is Death in the traditional tarot, and here it's in reverse, okay? So I like to read Osho's Zen tarot, thinking about its imagery, and it evokes specific meanings from each of these cards I've mentioned, okay? So starting with We Are the World, this month of July is not going to be about ending this cycle, or it's not going to be about ending whatever you have been working with in June, okay? It's not going to be about closure. This is going to be about healing your perspectives on what you're doing, about regaining your sense of creativity and your sense of being a unique individual that can actually put your mark into everything that you're doing. And this is going to require you to find some kind of refuge and not to overexpose to other people, okay? And also not to overexpose to information. Maybe you will need to disconnect from social media a little bit. You will need to stop listening to what other people are saying about the situation of the world in general, or about your affairs in particular. You will need to regroup, and in order to regroup, you will need to stop socializing so much, or even sharing your ideas so much, okay? This month is going to be a month in which you will need to invest a little less energy on everyone else and on what people are telling you about the situation in the world, and put on a mask. Sometimes that's basic, functional, everyday mask that will, okay, I will get through my day, I will do whatever I need to do, but I need a moment here to regroup and to regain contact with my passions. Okay, so this is a month, this is a very, it's a very soul searching month for you. This is going to be an internal job as people say, but in the sense of learning how to listen to your intuition, learning how to listen to whatever you're passionate about again, because you start the month feeling overwhelmed with too much information. Okay, and the piece of advice I have here is letting go. Letting go is in reverse. So this is very interesting. What they are talking about here is that maybe you feel, because you're overwhelmed, that you have to pick and choose from among the activities you've been doing, because some of them are no longer of use. But even if you feel like that, you need to give it a little bit more of time, okay? Because sometimes we feel tempted by the prospect of, just deciding I'm going to cut this and cut this out, cut this and that out of my life because I'm feeling overwhelmed, and I'm certainly going to feel an increase in energy if I decide to focus on only one or two things. Okay, but what the cards are actually saying is that this month is not about letting go yet. Maybe in August you even need to go through this process, but at this moment, what you need to do is just refrain from putting so much mental energy on everything that's going around you. This is not a moment to make harsh decisions and to start cutting people and things out of your life situations. Okay, this is a month of turning inside and realizing how you're feeling about things. This is not the month to say, okay, I feel bad about that, so I'm not going to do it anymore. It's a month of observing. Okay, because as a conclusion here, I see that you could end up, you're certainly going to end up by recovering your inspiration, but in order to do that, it's very important that you don't avoid change. Okay, your emotions are changing, your internal self's trying to speak to you, and it's very important that you do not resist this process, that you do not resist your emotions, that you understand that a full human being needs their brains and their emotions at the same time. Okay, and it may be particularly difficult to do this right now, because since you feel so drained, your first movement is just you want to get out of that, so you want to give up on certain things because it sounds easier than thinking things through or feeling things through, better saying. Okay, but this is a month about feeling things through. So how are you going to do that? You keep on doing everything that you're doing, but you put much less energy. You try to protect yourself so that you can find the time to regroup and to consider what's actually important for you, and especially so that you find the time to feel your feelings. Stop escaping them, stop avoiding them, stop avoiding change. This is the only way in which at the end of the month, and I see this prospect here very clearly, but this is the only way in which at the end of the month you feel inspired again, instead of drained of creativity or feeling like whatever you're doing is not meant for you. It doesn't have this differentiator that's all about you. It doesn't have your mark to it. Okay, so an intense month for you, but a very positive project, a very positive process. Okay, I hope you have your yes, no, maybe question, because I'm going to work this dice here in order to give you an answer. Yes, no, maybe. Okay, ready? A question related to the month of July. Yes, no, maybe. Okay, this is a no. And this is a very clear no. Okay, now observing the positions of the no indicators here. This is like an all-round no. This is the kind of process in which it's no from every every aspect. This is something that's probably negative to your life right now. So if you're asking about, I feel like this is because this month is a month of less external movement and more internal movement. And if you're asking about a feeling, an internal prospect, okay, or changing an attitude that depends only on you, then you need to further develop your own dealings, emotional dealing with whatever you're asking about, okay? But in general, this is a month that's going to end up very positive, but in which you need to retreat a little bit. And I think this no is related to that, no matter what you're asking. Okay, it doesn't mean that it needs to be a no forever. It doesn't mean that if you can work out through your emotions, this process of regaining your inspiration couldn't even go faster, okay? Because I'm reading to a lot of people, and nothing tarot says is set in stone. It's just like a picture taken from this specific moment right now and trying to help you overcome certain difficulties. But up to the moment, what I see is a no, and it's a no because this is not positive for you as you think it is. Make it fit your situation, okay? So I hope you have enjoyed this reading, and if you did, do not forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, so that you can receive similar videos in the future. And I hope you have an amazing month of July. Thank you very much.